Good day, viewers. Welcome to another episode of the Legacy Moments. We are going to be discussing how to prevent sexual abuse of children and teenagers at home, school, and church. Good day, viewers. I am Favor Oka, an SS2 student of Salvation International Preparatory Schools. While our teachers are busy with end-of-term activities, we are going to be discussing how to prevent sexual abuse of children and teenagers at home, school, and church. Okay, on my right, I have
F1
and on my left, I have
Never carry Daniel.
Okay, Splendor, please, can you tell us what sexual abuse means?
Okay, sexual abuse is an unlawful act that involves unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical misconduct of sexual nature against the person.
Okay, thank you, Splendor. Daniel, you know the meaning of sexual abuse. Please, can you tell us the victims who are involved?
Okay, honestly, anybody can be a victim, but based on statistics, people of ages 12 to 24 years have the highest risk of becoming victim of sexual abuse, but people of ages 65 or older are less likely to become victim. Sexual abuse can occur across boards, that is, it cannot only be man to woman or woman to man, but it can be to man and woman to woman. As I said, anybody can become a victim.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. So, Efwa, since you know what sexual abuse means and the people who are involved, can you tell us the causes of highlight at least one cause of sexual abuse?
Okay, thank you, Favor. So I have parental neglect. So when we talk about parental neglect, it can be in the form of parents not having time for their children, in the sense of parents leaving home early in the morning before the children wake up and coming back in the night when the children pass asleep. So for instance, a child has any complaints about sexual related reports, so the child doesn't have a parent to report to because he or she barely sees her parents or his parents. So next, we have parents denying the fact that there is nothing like sexual abuse. Nowadays, some parents don't even believe that there's anything like sexual abuse. So it is hard for a child to report to his or her parents that any sexual abuse act has been done to him or her. Lastly, we have parents do not care for their children. Now, on the streets, you see children of young ages roaming around the streets. It's not that they don't have parents, but the parents do not care for them. So it will be really hard for a child who has parents who don't care for him or her to report sexual related topics to.
Okay, thank you very much, Efwa. So, Precious, can you still highlight or throw more light on the causes of sexual abuse?
Yes, I can. One of the primary causes of sexual abuse in children and teenagers is indiscipline. Indiscipline generally involves the inability to control one's mind on his own will, like the inability of a person to control his mind. Most cases of sexual abuse, they really relate to indiscipline in the sense that the sexual abusers, when asked questions, they say like, I couldn't control myself, it just came on me. This is actually relates to indiscipline because the person that has discipline would be able to abstain from those crimes, be able to like state himself, no, I won't do it, I won't do anything. You can't say that exposed dressing like leads the sexual abusers to carry out the crimes because first of all, children below of the age 6 and below are being abused by close relatives and people around them. Can we say that they expose themselves to the people because they are children, they are young children, they don't have anything to chew. Also, in the summertime in the US, they usually go to beaches to cool off because the weather is way too hot. They wear expensive clothes like bikinis and knickers and shirtless tops. Can we say that because they don't dress well, that they can just go and be abused sexually. No, it's because of the indiscipline on the part of the abuser that makes it to commit a crime. So,
Thank you very much, Precious. So, Bukola, can you still like tell us one of the causes of sexual abuse?
Yes, we have lack of sex education. Sex education, first of all, is the enhancement of young people's understanding and their attitude towards their sexual health. Now, lack of this education has led to the victimization of many innocent people who were caught unaware by their abusers. Some parents and teachers don't teach their children on ways to lack sexual abuse, which has led to many of these children being sexually abused.
Okay, thank you, Bukola. So, going on, Spendo, can you still at least tell us one cause of sexual abuse?
Okay, inadequate government action is a major cause of sexual abuse. Now, in my opinion, the government hasn't done enough to reduce the number of cases of sexual abuse. Most of these sexual abusers, they commit their crimes and they get away with it. The victims and the abused, they don't get their justice. The government has also failed in the creation of employment opportunities. Like the saying goes, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Now, most of these sexual abusers are jobless. Only a jobless person comes to sexually abuse another innocent man or woman. So, in my opinion, the government hasn't done enough to reduce the number of sexual abuse, which is what has caused the increase in the rates of sexual abuse.
As a parent, I have always asked, how can I prepare my children for the infrastructural development and socio-economic evolution of the next decade? With the ongoing speed of globalization, how can I position my children to perform excellently in a rapidly changing society? The answer is and has always been to give them a solid foundation. Academically, spiritually, and morally. Salvation International Preparatory Schools, with her team of highly qualified tutors, conducive environment for learning, state-of-the-art computer and science laboratories coupled with quality day and boarding facilities, is the place to be. For more information, contact 080-233-76135. SIPS remains the birthplace of leaders.
Thank you very much, Splendor. We are going to look at the solutions or measures to prevent sexual abuse. So, Efwa, can you tell us one of the preventions of sexual abuse?
First of all, parents should at least have enough time for their children. Parents shouldn't be like every time going out early in the morning and coming back in the night when their children are asleep. So they should at least give enough time or spend enough time with their children to know reports of what's going on in their lives, their likes, their dislikes, their personalities. Next, parents should accept the fact that sexual abuse is real. They should take seriously any report being made to them from their children about sexual related activities. Then lastly, parents should monitor their children closely. Parents should they shouldn't leave their children on the streets. Nobody wants to give birth and raise a street child. No. So parents should monitor their children. They should also monitor what their children search and do in their phones. Thank you.
Moving on, Precious, you mentioned one of the causes of sexual abuse as indiscipline. So can you tell us how to reduce indiscipline so as to reduce sexual abuse?
The Bible says, train up a child in the way it should go, so that when it grows up, it won't depart from it. The family is the foundation of the society, and a disciplined family will raise disciplined children, which makes a disciplined society that will not allow our children and teenagers to be abused. This will reduce the rate of sexual abusers and victims in the society. Thank you.
Okay, Bukola, can you give us one of the solutions of sexual abuse?
Parents and teachers are to teach their children about sexual education. Parents should teach their children that there are erogenous zones, that is, the parts of their body that are sensitive to touch, are not to be touched by anyone. For the girls, the parents are to teach them that their chest areas are not to be touched either by male or a female. And the boys should be taught that their growing areas are not to be touched by anybody, either a male or a female. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Splendor, can you throw more light on what you said?
Okay, sex education helps people to identify when they are about to be sexually abused. So, for example, a girl being sexually abused by a man, she can use her knee to forcefully hit the man, where it hurts, and she can run to the nearest door, nearest exit, or a window and scream for help. This has helped a lot of people to escape from sexual abuse. Also, the government needs to create more employment opportunities to engage the youths. Although it's not only the youths that are involved in sexual abuse, some adult men and women also sexually abuse other young children. Now, there are many court cases that are still ongoing, adjourned from year to year, month to month, about sexual abuse. The court needs to expedite action against these cases and solve them and give their victims justice for once and for all, and at least punish the sexual offenders in order to dissuade and discourage all those potential or possible sexual abusers. That is my opinion.
Okay, thank you very much, Splendor. And also, non-governmental organizations can come up and take up these cases of sexual abuse. We teenagers are calling on the government to establish and implement policies to protect us from sexual abuse. And we are also calling on our parents to do more in terms of sex education and pay listening ears to their children. Thank you for watching. See you same time, same station next week. God bless you.
Salvation International Preparatory School. Salvation International Preparatory